Now, for more on this, we're being joined by Vikram Krishna, who is the co-founder of the Sacred Groves, a climate action influencer, conservation commerce advisor, and an e-waste warrior. He's joining us live from Dubai. Welcome you, sir. Now, let me begin by asking you, now these are heat waves across the world. And this is some really basic question. A lot of people are going around saying, oh, well, it's just a hoax. People don't really believe that it's actually real. So could you tell us and make us understand that, is this real and is it happening? Climate change, how is this happening?
Okay, so let me reference it to the temperatures that you just announced in your program. So we are at a stage as a planet where global temperatures are getting warmer each year. So to put that into context, if you look at the past 6 years, each year has been hotter than the previous year. So we are at about 1.3 degrees above the baseline. So baseline was about almost 70 years of temperature that was then averaged. So we're at 1.3 degrees above the baseline. And as the world gets hotter, it is quite obvious that more and more such extreme weather events will happen. We are now well heading into the 1.5 to 1.75 degrees over the next 7 years. So one can expect each year conditions to become more and more challenging for humanity as we speak. These are just basic mathematics. I think we need to just start listening to the science around climate change. We need to start understanding what does extreme heat mean, and more importantly, start reflecting on what do we need to do as individuals to make that change. How can we make that difference? And I think that's really where a lot of the work needs to be done.
True. Now, when you talk about, so there's this term that is going around, it's called heat dome, right? So can you explain what this heat dome is and how serious is that matter?
Okay, so I'll try to put it as simply as I can. As the temperature rises, pressure rises along with it, right? So imagine a pressure cooker. As you heat up anything in the pressure cooker, the pressure rises and heating gets accelerated. So whatever is getting cooked in the pressure cooker gets cooked much faster than a regular appliance, which may be an open vessel. So we are experiencing as a planet a similar situation where as the heat is rising, the pressure is rising as well. And when the pressure rises, it creates like a wall, like a dome around areas, especially urban areas. So urban areas which are like heat islands, when they produce heat, that dome does not prevent that heat from escaping in that area. So then local conditions become hotter and hotter to manage. So that, in a very simple way, is what a heat dome is. And of course, we're having another challenge, which is the La Nina kind of weather conditions, which is just making things a little bit more complex.
Right. Now, next, you mentioned in your first answer that we need to focus on what we can do as people. Now, we always depend on the government to make policies and everything. As individuals, what are the basic, simple things that we as people can take?
Yeah, so you see, it is common knowledge that as we environment and natural environment have a positive consequence on temperature. So forests, for example, which is a rich source of life on the planet, they are getting destroyed. So every 6 seconds, a soccer field equivalent of forests are destroyed. So say, for example, we are talking today for 5 minutes, about 10 acres of forest will be gone forever. So I think, this can't really go on forever. And a large part of that is not just legislation or actions of corporates, but also things that individuals can do. So what I always advise people to do is to think of 3 things, right? First is, how are you spending your money? So please make sure that you start, when you're purchasing anything, start looking at this whole topic of, is it good for nature? So the clothes that I'm buying, the car that I'm riding, the things that I purchase, do I need them? Can I recycle them? Can I reuse them? Can I repurpose them? Do I need that tent t-shirt? and so on. So make sure that when you're spending on stuff, it is a lot more conscious in terms of its footprint on the planet. The second is vote, right? So please make sure that, like for example, this year India's just gone through its election cycle, but about half of the world is going to go through elections this year. So make sure that you're choosing your politicians, when you're choosing your legislator, you choose individuals and parties that are tangibly, they've got methods, they've got policies that can actually influence the growth of nature as well. So I think vote, pay for stuff that matters.
Right.
And last but not the least, change your thinking, right? Mindset. So soch, note, and vote. If you get the three together, then it can make a big difference.
Right, right. That's where we need to probably basically just know that, well, climate change is real. So thank you so much, Mr. Vikram, for joining us on the show and giving your insights.
My pleasure. Thank you. Act now.